Monde, Collins Injera, the great try scorer, Samuel Oliech, William Bucker, Oscar Uma, all unavailable for Kenya here in Dubai. Damien Schneider is your referee for this one. The Dubai Sevens men's draw back underway.
Release.
Japan-Kenya, 13th place semi-final. Japan lost to Samoa 40-12 this morning in the quarters of the Challenge Trophy. And Kenya fell to Spain, much closer game, 26-19. Slightly high tackle coming in there, but let go by the referee. Player releases. Japan showed glimpses against Samoa this morning. They're capable of finding the opening, but with passes like that, they might struggle. And here come Kenya, but they switch back position. Now we'll go for the original knock-on.
No advantage. Scrum.
In your experience, Mark, these kind of games, when you've lost your quarter-final in the morning, you've got to back up, you've gone to the team canteen, had a bit of lunch, how difficult is it to mentally switch back on for these ones?
The challenge is getting yourself into a situation where you're not feeling the pain of your body, because day two it does feel like you're hit by a bus.
Mind.
But also it's the challenge of playing as a team, because as an individual you want to show yourself, but also to enable you to do that you really need to dig in for your team and work hard.
Leonard Mugasi on the right wing here for Kenya. He's got a bit of speed up and he will run in. That was nice from Mugasi. Kenya, first points.
I was just about to say this Kenyan team will be looking to bully this Japanese outfit, but Leonard Mugasi's got footwork, he's got pace, he's not even touched. Japanese man, he tries to lay a finger on him, but he doesn't even get there. Great finish on the wing.
15 left.
Leonard Mugasi.
Good start for Kenya. Here's the conversion attempt from out wide. Good distance, it'll just slide by. 5-0 it remains. Kenya finished 8th last season on the Sevens World Series, the second time in the past 3 series they finished inside the top 10. The 26 tries at the London Sevens were the most they've ever scored in an event.
Release.
They broke through to win their first ever cup title at the Singapore Sevens a few years ago.
Chaka rolling.
Penalty here for Japan.
Rolling away.
You can see Japan are trying to create overlaps on the outside, but the Kenyans are using that touchline really effectively, just drifting off and making some big contact on the outside edges.
That's a good tackle. More heavy defence coming in from Kenya. They've shown the physicality. That was the captain who was hit there. Still have possession though, Japan. Here's Ozawa again to Kentaro Fuji, 18 years of age. Naoki Motomura off to Sakai. There's Motomura again. Short ball here to Nakazawa. Opening here for Japan, Motomura. Big chance on the far side. Sakai runs at the line, ducks inside. Katsuyuki Sakai responds for Japan. He's their main man in the middle.
Sakai, he's got experience. He's ducking and diving, and he's managed to get his way to the try line. Just look at this awareness. He sees the drifting Kenyan defender, bang inside step, ducks under, and he gets in there. And it's been a difficult score for this Japanese team. You can see the Kenyans, they look pretty comfortable in the touchlines, but through the middle it's a bit more of a challenge for them. Good try.
Katsuyuki Sakai playing his 31st event here, 30 years of age, the oldest player in the Japanese team, adds the extra 2. I can't wait for those Cup semi-finals later on, Mark. England up against New Zealand. I know your boys Scotland fell to the Kiwis a little earlier on, and then Australia and the USA looked very good indeed, didn't they, in their cup quarters as well.
Release now.
Kiwis are looking strong, but Australia, the team for me that's been really impressive, got great balance of the team, and again underpinned by that work rate, they're going to be difficult to beat.
Turnover Japan, here they come again, Sakai on the boil! Katsuyuki Sakai, 2 tries in 2 minutes.
See this, the ball comes out the back. Presence of mind to pick it up. Look at Sakai, he comes from that sweeper position. He sees the whole picture in front of him, and it's a nice, easy score for him. 2 tries, 2 quick tries.
Motivating his team, leading from the front, adding extra points again. So 16-5 now to Japan. Conceded an early try, hit back with 2 to Sakai. Big couple of years coming up in Japanese rugby, isn't it? Rugby World Cup next year. Tokyo 2020 hosting the Olympics. The Rugby Sevens, of course, will feature again for the 2nd time. That's been well taken in contact by Charles Omondi.
Entry.
That's a fantastic take. Real commitment, because it is dangerous when you're going in the air there. With the one man's ball.
Slipping under a tackle there is Alvin Otieno. Olindi at scrum half. Archie. Omondi again. Olindi. There's the router for half-time. Kenya. Can they respond and get back into this one? Well, it was a good run, but unfortunately for Jeffrey Otieno, it was on the wrong side of the touchline.
And these lines have proved a bit of confusion. You saw Jamie Farndale do it yesterday. He thought the red line, never is a red line, but he thought that was a dead ball, and I think the Kenyans thought the same. He's seen that red line, thinking he's got a bit more room, but he just ran straight into touch. That's a coach killer.
I once saw Tyrone Howe do that for the British and Irish Lions in Perth on a Lions to 40 metres in touch. 14-5, Japan lead Kenya.
Kenya tuko! Kenya tuko! 1-2! Kenya! 1-2.
Plenty of action coming your way. The other 13th place semi, Zimbabwe versus Wales up next. And then into the trophy semi-final, Samoa so unlucky here, winning 2 games yesterday. They play Spain, and it's Canada against France. Both those 2 teams looking for some form. And then the big ones. The 5th place semi-final first, South Africa, Scotland. South Africa defending champions here, won't have a chance to defend their title. Argentina, Fiji. After that, Fiji knocked out earlier by the USA. And the top 4 are England against New Zealand. And then Australia against the USA. A couple of absolute belters coming your way just after 4 p.m. here, local time in Dubai. Katsuyuki Sakai restarts play. That one's gone forward. Fell into the hands of a teammate. He went forward. It might have been offside there, but it's a scrum, Japan.
Yeah, it should have been a penalty there. And it's so difficult when the ball is knocked down to you, even if you're in front of your teammate. It's just reactions. You know, it's instinct to pick the ball up.
Crouch.
Makes me think, just having lunch with Craig Gilbert in the team
Set.
canteen, makes me think of Gordon Reid at the 2015 World Cup semi-final.
Yeah, that brings
about
back some
unlucky.
nightmares, some real nightmares.
Sorry about that. Here comes Japan, leading Kenya 14-5. Over the 22, there's a nice offload there to Ozawa. Dai Ozawa picks up another try for Japan.
Exactly the start to the second half Japan would have been looking for. And we can see the value of the offload, keeping that ball alive, staying on your feet. Ozawa, a little bit of footwork after the offload. And they're through for yet another try. 2 scores out of sight here.
Speaking of referees, I think generally this weekend, last couple of days, women's and men's tournament here, I think the use of the referral, the television match official, they've done it very accurately, haven't they? It's been really slick, really efficient, really on point.
One thing I liked is it's not been overused. As you said, they've generally said, is it a try or no try, so it can be a quick call, because we want the game to be fluent. We don't want too long stoppages.
Bit of a stoppage here because the ball's gone over the touchline. It'll be a Kenya throw. Japan secured that core team status on the World Series. Amazing game against Germany. They trailed Germany in the final quarter. And Masahiro Nakano scored the winning try with 15 seconds to spare, breaking German hearts, who are desperate to become a core nation on the series. Instead, it was Japan who returned. Here's a try score from the first half. Mugasi, ball inside. Heavy contact coming in on Mondi. Quickly recycled for Kenya. Overlap if they can shift it. Cutting inside is Otieno. Finds the offload to Talbu. Ombachi. Ombachi around the outside, changes direction, heads towards the try line. Had the feet, then lost them.
Play on.
Play on, says the referee. No knock on there. Still alive for Kenya. Still going. There's the winning pass. Dennis Ombachi under the posts. Kenya closed the gap.
Big Dennis Ombachi had a few shots at it too. This is the first one. He goes the long arcing route. If he could just put that ball in the other hand and utilise the feint, it'd be hard to stop. It's a messy, messy part of play. But great work rate by Ombachi. Gets back on his feet and he finally gets to score that try and put the ball down.
Time off.
Dennis
3-7.
Ombachi, one of the few players
Thank you. Time back on.
surviving from the squad from last season. He alongside Eric
to make the restart,
Bombassa,
please.
Herman
Come on.
Humwa and Ed Nagero.
Come on.
So 21-12 inside the final 3 minutes. Backing his pace is Nakazawa. Sakai. Nice inside ball from Sakai, and he gets it back and he shifts it along again. Kondo. Nakazawa, heavy contact. You could hear that in Abu Dhabi, that hit. Here's Sakai again. Inside ball. 6 meters out, Japan. Chance here for Japan for another score. Reaching out, they get there. Oh, that was a good movement from Japan. Yet another try. With ball in hand, they have been impressive. Kondo with the score.
And they're really building scores. Look at this big hit first up. Bang! For once the Kenyan comes off second best. But this Japanese team, they're showing composure, they're showing patience, and they build the score. Is tall enough to reach out and score that try.
Conversion doesn't make it.
One thing we're not seeing from the Kenyans, which we usually do, Rupert, is they're counter-rucking, and that's become such a strength of them over the last 2 years, and they get so much turnover ball, and from turnover ball they're a nightmare, because against an unstructured defence their 1v1 runners are very difficult to stop, and that'll be something they look to add over the course of the season with some of these new guys in.
Yeah, when you're missing the likes of Andrew Monde, Oscar Uma, Samuel Oliech. It's good to see Humphrey Kayange, Collins Injura's brother, here playing this weekend for the Samurai. He'll be appearing in a final later on.
Yeah, he scored a few match-winning tries against the Scots in his day.
Putting the hammer down here is Daniel Tabu. Kicks ahead, and Sakai, like a right back in football, just hoofs that one over the sideline.
He is a clever player, Sakai. I mean, clever from the Kenyan to drop that on the foot, but Sakai knows he had nobody back. Let's get it in the touch. The safety of the touchline. Clever player from the senior sweeper.
Turned over the line out. Sakai can boot that one into touch again.
Yeah, he's blowing a bit. He's blowing a little bit. And as a sweeper, generally they will run the highest distances. Over the course of a game, we'll see them running between 2,000, 2,200 metres in 14 minutes, and that's with a lot of accelerations, a lot of time hitting the deck, a lot of change direction. It's a hard job being a sweeper.
Short line out from Kenya.
Release.
Around the front, and now they'll swing it wide. Time almost up.
Release.
Well, it is up. Final play we're on here. So Kenya looking for some pride to finish this one on. Here's Mugasi trying the first half. He'll finish the second half with another score. It won't be enough for Kenya, but perhaps a glimpse of what might have been for the Africans.
Leonard Mugasi, he's been a find. 3 tries over the weekend, but you can just see he's a dangerous runner. He's got that power round about the hips, the thighs. He's going to prove a very difficult man to put down. He's got an initial sharp acceleration too.
So Kenya finish with a maximum, but they're going to have to lift big if they're going to impress what is effectively their home tournament in Cape Town next week. It's Japan who have beaten Kenya by 26 points to 19.